If Blake Shelton asked you to get a couple's tattoo, would you do it?
Probably. And I do not have any tattoos. But if he asked me to get the same one he has, I would probably have to say no, because that is the stupidest tattoo I've ever seen in my life.
Lucky you. It's time for an Audacy check-in with the legendary Gwen Stefani of No Doubt. I don't believe in this manifestation stuff, but I did talk to Allie earlier in the year. I said, who of all the people in the world would you want to stop by and hang out with us in the morning?
Lying.
She wrote down one name.
Without a doubt.
Are you serious?
And that
Yes.
name was Blake Shelton. And I said,
Good one.
no, she wrote down Gwen Stefani. And it was crazy because
And, Klein, the number one band that I would want to reunite for a show was No Doubt.
she said that as well.
Insane.
Yes, so this is
Wow.
amazing.
Good to see you
This is
again.
wild. This is so wild. I mean,
Yeah.
you have no idea. K-Rock was when we were kids, our life. Like, that's how we discovered who we were, through the music you guys were playing. You know what I'm saying? And so the idea of like being in the future right now and Purple Iris, I mean, it doesn't, none of it makes sense, but
Oh,
here
yeah.
we are.
It's like full circle without
Yes.
but a new chapter at
Yes.
the same time.
And do you even remember what it was like playing in a tiny room for 15 people?
I do. I mean, I still get to play like a lot of weird little shows, like private shows, and I do like doing them because a lot of times it's like they're not your fans. And for me, like the idea of trying to win people over is like, I don't know what it is. It's
Man.
like, I just want you to like me.
So we can hire you to play a birthday party?
Huh? Yeah, for the right price.
Oh,
yeah,
all right,
you
cool.
got it, girl.
I'll start a GoFundMe. Well, obviously, you've been talking about Purple Irises. It just came out. You performed it at the Super Bowl. This song was something that you had written a few years ago and you've been sitting on. And now that it's out, I mean, how does it feel to have something that, you know, how you've had in your back pocket for a couple years and now everyone's finally enjoying it together?
I need to go back and look when I wrote this, because I wrote it with this little alternative girl called Nico, who had written the first of True Babe, and she sent that to me, and then we finished it together, and then that song came out. But then I went in the studio back. I didn't really meet her until I actually wrote Purple Irises, because we kind of went back and forth. No, that's not true. I did go in with her and did the bridge on that song. But anyways, Nico, it was just really cool to write with her, because there's all these amazing songwriters out there. Like back in the day when No Doubt and when I say No Doubt, it's weird because I am in No Doubt too. But like for some reason, the guys and I would write songs. Like we didn't know what we were doing. Like we didn't have like somebody like that's professional that's like, okay, no, that you can't do that many syllables, it won't rhyme, or whatever it was. We just did whatever we did. Like we just made it up ourselves. So later in life, when I was doing like Love Angel Music Baby and Sweet Escape and all that, I got to go in with these like professional of the moment like songwriters, and it was so incredible. Like one of the first ones being, you know, Pharrell, like and being able to like work with people outside of the genres that I knew, and it was just like such an amazing as a songwriter thing to like learn. And the collaborations have always been my favorite, like best work, I think. But in this instance, like I had been going down this whole road of since 2020, like I wanted to make music again, and I had like Kelly Clarkson, for example, because we worked together on The Voice, so we know each other from that. She was texting me during quarantine all these demos of her songs and that she'd been writing. And I was like, but wait a minute, like we're in quarantine. I'm doing homeschool. I'm cleaning toilets. I'm like trying to make 3 meals a day. I'm learning how to make sourdough like everybody else. And when are you writing these songs? I was so jealous. And she was like, I don't sleep. And I was like, she had younger kids than me.
Yeah.
So that was when I first was like, I want to try. And I came back to LA after, you know, it was like over 100 days in Oklahoma. It was so awesome, actually. But I went to the studio, and it was like the whole studio, the inside was wrapped with plastic. That's how like
Deep in
in it
quarantine
we
it
were.
was, right.
Yeah. And the girl I wrote with, like we were wearing masks. If I saw her, I wouldn't recognize her because
Yeah, there
she
are
had
people we knew and don't know anymore,
Yeah.
and we would never know if
we
we
had to
saw
have
them
our
again.
like feet sprayed when we walked in. Like it was a whole thing. And I wrote the first song there, and I was really like about like going backwards. Like I was like, oh, I want to do reggae. I want it to be fun. The world needs fun. And I wrote so many songs, like so many songs. But it always felt like I was trying to chase myself or compete with myself in some way. And I don't really think I knew that until I wrote Purple Irises. It was like, okay, now I feel like this is what the record's going to be. It's this energy. It's me in the back of the station wagon in Orange County on the way to church with my parents, like listening to that 70s like music that was like the backdrop of my childhood. And so I think that this song just has that kind of, that's the inspiration it came from. And you know, it was just a vulnerable week, and I just wrote this song about what was going on. And so I don't know, it's just weird. And then after that is when I started writing the rest of the record. And so I do have an album.
That's
eventually.
crazy.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
But
There's
Blake was
gotta
never
be
supposed
more.
to be on this record. It was just a song I wrote, and then it just evolved into this. And it just happens that Blake is like in a break from his, like he doesn't have anything out right now, so here we are. Things
So he's
are just,
piggybacking.
it's wild, guys.
Are you obsessed with it
You
now?
know what's really amazing about songs is they are they're sent down. It's like literally a spiritual like gift, and I didn't do the song, like I just received this song, and I pray about it all the time. Like I'm always like, God, just show me what I'm supposed to do next. I just want to do my purpose. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't care. I just want to do your work.
I'm stupid. I'm praying for winning lottery numbers, and I should be
I
praying
know,
for
you're
songs.
doing it all wrong.
I'm doing
That
it all
might
wrong.
be what God wants you to do. So you never know.
I don't know.
never
Look
know.
at him. I don't know if God wants him to do
I
that
don't think
anymore.
it's
You
a
just
plan.
gotta ask.
It's
I mean,
not a plan.
If
yet.
you don't ask, you won't receive.
It's true. You are an amazing songwriter. Blake, also an amazing songwriter. Your son is also starting to get into songwriting. And I just wanted to ask, I mean, I feel like we're due for another great family band.
That's funny.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, honestly, yes. My firstborn, King James, he surprised us because people are always like, oh, well, it's not surprising, it's your kid. I was like, no, that's not how we're born. Like, I'm not like my parents. You know what I mean? Like we are just sent here and like born here, and then we have to figure it out. What are we supposed to be? And he just wrote this song when he was 15, and I was like, okay, you're lying. Like, you did not write that. There's no way. And then he now he has like 50 songs. He's really, really gifted. And I think at the end of the day, out of everything that I've done, like the most satisfying is to be part of writing a song. Like, it is just because, especially I was going to say, because you said, did I know? I just knew that it captured exactly what I was feeling, and when I listened back, it was like speaking back to me, and it's almost like you learn about yourself through this song. And songs are weird because it's not a lot of lyrics. It's not like you're writing a book, or you know what I mean, or
But
even
it's
a
the
paragraph.
whole vibe.
Yeah,
and it's a 70s vibe, but it's so Gwen Stefani right now in 2024.
Oh my gosh, I love
which
that.
is so
Thank you.
interesting. And I think now, because everyone's excited about the future, the Coachella, the No Doubt reunion, and do you think when you hear these songs, which I know you haven't started practicing yet, but when you hear the songs, do you think they still speak to you, or do you feel like I'm not that Gwen Stefani anymore?
I can't listen to a lot of songs because they speak so clearly to me. And it's like, you have regrets, you have mistakes you've made, and most of the songs are about that. So,
Yeah.
you just go, like, there's certain, like, if I do Ex-Girlfriend, even when I say it, I almost throw up in my mouth because it's like, just know exactly where I was at in that moment to write that song, and what I know now, like, it's just like, oh my God, like, it just brings you right back. And there's lots of times where you'd be on tour and you're doing the repetitive songs, but it's not the songs. You're not in the songs. You're there with these new people every night, and they're receiving the songs, and so that's where you get the energy, and you kind of relive that moment with them. And it's like, it's very interesting. I can't believe that I was chosen to be able to have this life, because it's such an incredible way to, I don't know, just express yourself, but also get to know yourself, and the songs do that. And it's not just me, because a lot of people are getting that from them as well. Like, I can remember when Don't Speak came out, and we were, I'd never even traveled. Like, my parents, our family was very like conservative. It was like our family. Like, I was very naive, very, very naive. The only place we'd ever traveled to was like San Francisco. Like, I'm not kidding you. And
Did
then
you
when
go
I was
to Disneyland at least?
we did. Well, we lived by there.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's not far.
but we just like we weren't traveling a lot. Like, we would, Catalina Island, Big Bear,
Right. Anything that was 5 hours
yeah.
or less.
And
Yeah.
then when I was 21, they like called this family meeting, because I lived at home till I was 26. And because
That's very trendy now. That's what everyone's doing.
I know.
now.
well, I did it before, so.
Trendsetter.
Trendsetter again.
Yeah, smart.
But I basically we were like, we're gonna go to Italy next year, and it's gonna be this big trip, and we did. And I cried when we left. I was like, I'm never gonna get to go back to my Italy. And
You realized it was just Catalina. They were pulling one over on you.
no, we went to Vegas to no, that wasn't there yet. But anyways, yeah. So I don't even know what we were talking about. So go ahead.
Hey, this new song is great, and I would imagine that do you guys sing in the shower together? Do you ever sing in the shower together?
You know what? I'm doing that tonight.
Yeah.
Yes,
try
I'm gonna
it out.
I'm gonna do a sing in the shower with Blake.
'Cause
We
we
actually have the shower that has the two
Shower
Yeah.
heads. Oh,
You got to sing your new song in there together.
That would
Of
be
course.
amazing.
Everyone thinks they can sing good in the shower, but no one. We all think we sound like Gwen Stefani in the shower, but we don't. Gwen Stefani sounds like Gwen Stefani, and imagine that. The two of them, we got to release that. That'd
Yeah.
be viral.
I will be live tonight on Instagram. Me and Blake.
Here we go. Purple
great.
Irises. We're going to give it its play in its entirety and check it out. By the way, this is only the beginning of an album that will be coming. We've got that information. Of course, the No Doubt Coachella, that's upcoming. Cali Vibes this weekend with Gwen Stefani. It's been such a pleasure to have you back, K-Rock. Those cookies are yours. We wrap up every interview with just 2 epic questions. Epic question number 1. Allie, hit it worth it.
All right. If Blake Shelton asked you to get a couple's tattoo, would you do it?
Probably. And I do not have any tattoos. But if he asked me to get the same one he has, I would probably have to say no, because that is the stupidest tattoo I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
Okay, all
I
right,
love
great
the
answer.
honesty. Always good honesty. Epic question number 2. It's a sad week. We lost the guy who created Pop-Tarts. He died earlier this week.
Oh, I heard about that.
What is the GOAT Pop-Tart flavor? The best Pop-Tart flavor ever. What do you think?
I'm going to go ahead and say the cinnamon one.
Whoa.
Don't you want that right now?
Damn, that sounds
And
good.
the
We've been
strawberry
craving
is
Pop-Tarts all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The strawberry frosted or
We weren't
strawberry
allowed to
without
get those
frosted?
when we were little.
No.
My mom was like all into like health
Yeah.
Him too.
for like a minute.
He never had soda, and look at him
I had
now.
to make friends based on if they had good snack food. It was really sad.
Did you guys have fruit roll-ups too?
Yes.
Not in my house, but
my
they had
God.
them.
Yeah, my mom didn't know they were like sugar. She was like, "Oh, these are fruit now."
Really? Oh, you're so lucky. They spell like fruit with 2 O's, like F-R-O-O-T.
Yeah, they can't even say fruit.
I remember
Real
one year
fruit.
my mom goes, "Here's some fruit leathers." I go, "Fruit leathers? This is terrible." Gwen Stefani, we love it when you come by.
Thank you so
for being
much.
back to
K-Rock,
Carol.
I love you
The
guys.
great Gwen Stefani, folks.
Meow.